Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be unboxing and reviewing the LEGO Marvel set number 76335 Spider-Man vs. Ghost Rider Motorcycle. Not Ghost Rider, just his motorcycle. Alright. First of all, we can take a look at the box itself before, real quick. So, it's a smaller box. It's think that smaller kind of box kind of thing. Got this for $10, and we'll see how it fares in price. Obviously got Lego Marvel. Got some little comic stuff in the background there. Got a very generic looking Spider-Man there with a Spider-Man title over there. Obviously, we gotta look at the set itself as well as a little bit of background. Not much going on there. Down here we have, I guess, the roster corner that is uh, of the minifigures included, that being Spider-Man and Ghost Rider. And then over here we have the recommended age, set number, name of set, and the number of pieces used in the set. Up here on the top, there's words and things, but also a one-to-one scaled image of one of the minifigures included. So that's nice. Here's what this side looks like. Here's what this side looks like. And here's what this side looks like. And then here for the back, we get another look at the set itself. A little Spider-Man emblem there. Lego Marvel. And over here is a little a gimmick display, a gimmick presentation shot right here, showing off some of the gimmicks in the set, and then a little thumb push tap thing. And so with that, with the box looked at, gotta look at nice little box. There we go, got a nice spin on that. Alright, so with that, let's actually go ahead and get this open. I tend to open my sets like this. That's how I do it. Alright, so we get that open. And then here we have that. Alright. That's everything in there, I believe. Let's close that back up and set that off to the side. And so here, we have everything included. So first we can, I guess, look at the instructions. Here's a look at the front. We got that. It starts off in the build. Here's a look at the back. We also get a look at the parts list. And then also in here we have little advertisements for other sets in here. For other sets that you could get. And then, yeah, that's just a build. Sorry about that. So that's it with the instructions. Oops, no, it's a little snuffy. That should be fine. So, before we get into the back of the parts, so this is all the parts included in here. So, first, separately packaged is this spider web sort of accessory thing for Spider-Man. So we have this piece here. On this channel, I think we've seen this piece before. I believe we've seen it for that Venom mech. We've seen it for that Venom mech, I believe. Yeah, definitely reminds me of that. It definitely feels like just that piece again. which is fine. Nice to have another one of those. We can take a look at the smaller bag parts real quick. See what's new in there. So we have some small Technic stuff, some stuff we've seen before. Ooh. We have this Nexonite shield tile, and like the translucent orange, but also a nice sort of printing on there for like the front of the bike. That's really cool. I like that. Got a little bit of brackets in here, so we got some clips and stuff. We got some triggers. It's not the only time I'm gonna say trigger in this video, by the way. We also got little fireball shots things that I believe are gonna be hand accessories. Got two of those in the translucent orange. Those look cool. And also what appears to be this like minifigure head accessory, which I believe is like a fiery hair piece. That's really cool. I like that. And also some other translucent orange pieces in here too, like some 1x1 rounded pieces and like a 1x2. Well, simple things like that. And then for this other bag, let's get this open. Then here's where the larger pieces are going to be. Like, so here we have a couple wheels. We have a thinner, one stud thick wheel. And then we have a wider, we have like a wider, like 2 studs thick wheel. Both with very similar in design. We also have tires to go with them. A thinner one and a thicker one. A wider one. We also have this piece which has been this piece which has been like moving around a lot lately. Been used on a lot of like motorcycle builds as of late. We also got one of these pieces. I like to call them like, I'm not sure what to call these. It's like a strange sort of structural piece kind of thing. Like it also kind of looks like a lightning bolt. Let's call it I don't know, like a lightning bolt structure, I guess. Lightning bolt like structure piece. We also have stud launcher base pieces. We have a couple of these flame pieces in this translucent orange color. I like to see that. Like, that's cool to see. We also got in some orange pieces, some brackets. Got in some brackets. Got other like very simple stuff. We got like this piece, which is really neat. A little bit of Technic. Also some of these studded boat pieces. There's like smooth at the bottom. And also handlebar, stuff like that, curves and stuff. Also like this piece. Ain't that neat? And then we have pieces for the accessories, which we'll take a look at later. But with that, that's pretty much it for the parts in here. So let's go ahead and move those off to the side so we can so I can put it together and show you how the set fares fully put together. Alright, and with that, here we have the sets. Here we have the sets fully put together and ready to review, basically. So let's go. So to start off for this one, let's start off with the minifigures. Why not? We'll start simple with Spider-Man in this case. So here we have Spider-Man. I'm sure you're familiar with him. We all have we've seen many different Spider-Man minifigures over the years. This one is a fairly decent one, I think. Maybe we have the minifigure head, which looks alright, looks nice. The torso print looks pretty good. Legs are just a blue pair of legs with no printing on them. The arms are not entirely sure what it is, but the arms kind of have the printing on the arms looks a lot darker than I feel like it should. I feel like it should be the same color as the rest of the suit, but instead it looks closer to a dark red than it does the actual red. I know they might not have gotten the printing right in this case, but overall, it's it's a it's a fair enough representation of a minifigure Spider-Man. I'm sure there's many better ones. I'm sure there's many worse ones. This one is fine. I feel like it also has a couple of accessories that you can mess around with. You have this thing they can play around with. You could also does include the set also does include pieces like this, a piece like this where you can just attach this onto his hand and then attach this onto that little bar connection. Makes it look like he's slinging some spider webs. And even though I believe the instruction says it only includes one, obviously it's a smaller piece, so you have spares. In fact, here's a look at some of the spare pieces in here. It does come with some spare pieces, those obviously, but it has oops, has some spare pieces in here. Just a few small things, but I guess you can also attach another one of these to the other end, make it so that spider webs can attach to something, maybe a studded surface. Make sure it grabs onto it, and or a building slinging spider stuff. In terms of Spider-Man, I feel like this is fine. I feel like it's alright. I feel like it does the job well enough. It's obviously Spider-Man, so that's nice. And now we move on to some more interesting stuff. Here we have Ghost Rider. So looking at Ghost Rider here, he's quite fascinating. Look at that. You got at least some fascinating design here. This flaming hairpiece looks great on him. Got this flaming hairpiece. That looks really cool. Taking this off. Take a look at that. His head is basically just a white minifigure head with the printing on the front, on one side. And looking at that, he does have a really cool face print. But if you ask me, I honestly would prefer to have him look a little bit more like Inferno Cop. Maybe, please. Lego, please. Maybe Inferno Cop, maybe or just anything Lego Studio Trigger, maybe? No? Okay. I'm gonna have to settle with Ghost Rider for now. I'm gonna have to. But anyway, we also got some really nice printing on the torso. So here's a look at the front and the back. He does have a chain. He does have a fiery chain wrapped around him, as well as his nice spiky leathery jacket. which is fascinating. It's cool. It's cool. It's nice. I enjoy it. I enjoy it well enough. So that's nice. Like arms and legs are very basic. They're just black minifigure arms and legs unprinted. The arms unprinted, legs unprinted. But you do also get a couple of hand accessories. It's basically just a couple of these fiery, like fist, like I guess blasters, maybe. Or it has like it connects onto the hand. It's like a fiery piece, but it also has a studded connection, so you can like a hollow stud connection, so you can like either like attach a stud like something there, or like maybe like I guess if you're willing to take the pieces off the bike, you can add pieces like that. You can like give them like a larger flame. But if you ask me, I feel like if you're I feel like the honestly I think like something that would make this even cooler is if this set included like a translucent orange like fiery chain piece, because like Ghost Rider is, I believe Ghost Rider is known for using a chain, for a fiery chain. Like he has it right there, like printed on his torso. Like I imagine he has like does some really cool things with it. Maybe some more Inferno Cop related things with it. But you can like pull off some like really cool like displays and stuff. It's really nice. I enjoy it. But now, with that, we can now get on to the main. We can now get on to the like the build itself, and that is Ghost Rider's motorcycle. It's like Chopper. It's like this really fascinating Chopper inspired motorcycle, which I will say looks really nice. It looks really good. Like with the number of pieces used in this set, which is like what, um, did you let's say you use like I guess 60 pieces, maybe 61 pieces, or like 59 pieces, I guess, because I guess these are included in the set as well. Would be it has yeah, like I want to get this out of the way one more time. The set includes included these four pieces as spares, so we can move those off to the side. But here you have like some ammunition stuff, which we'll get into in a minute. But like yeah, you have like a really fascinating looking bike. Like starting off with the front here, you have this interesting sort of front assembly where it's like this Technic assembly up here, and then it's covered up by then like this stuff up here is mostly covered up by like this by like this small assembly here with this nice printing on it. It does freely move around, but it does have at least a bit of a place to rest on. Oh, yeah, that's something else you can do, I guess, where you can either or where you can like adjust the handlebar so you can have either have it like that or like that. Honestly, I kind of prefer. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I kind of like that better. It just makes it look more like even more like a motorcycle. If it has like has like the area where you would put like the gas. It has like the gas tank area and like engine. And then like moving over to like the sides. The sides have some interesting details to them, like you have like these stud launchers on either side, not only giving it a decent amount of bulk, but also giving it like an actual sort of feature to them where you have where you could just shoot, where it has like just shoot things. And if you lose a one or two, don't worry, it comes with spares, so you can just load them back in. No problem at all. Now, moving on to the back, like we have like, I guess, yeah, we have like the mud guard sort of thing going on here. You have the rear tire, which is significantly thicker, which is nice, gives it a more intimidating kind of look, but also you don't need a kickstand. It just stands up like that because of how thick the rear tire is. So you can just roll it around on its own, no problem. And you can also like turn it and things like that. Like if and then you can like adjust like the exhaust pipes. The exhaust pipes are very simply done, but also very effective. It's very simple but very effective. You have like this piece here, then you just attach a giant fire piece on either side, and it looks sick. Which you have the look here without it, which is fine enough, but like that extra bit of fire just elevates it more as just like a Ghost Rider vehicle. Very nice. Very crisp. Here's a look at a better look at the underside. Not a whole lot going on here. You do have like some smoothness down there. In case you're doing like some cool like I guess action poses with the bike, I guess. But you can like tilt the bike in ways like that to make it look fascinating. And also, because of how these are connected, you can also like turn like the fire pieces, and you can like play around with it like that. That looks really cool too. I like that. Oh, like that looks cool too. Like you can just turn these flame pieces in whatever way, and like almost any angle for these pieces just look really nice. I like that. And yeah, they can also split out. So you can't quite put them all the way forward, but oh well. But now we can move on to actually like fitting the Ghost Rider minifigure onto the bike. So obviously we can remove the accessories from his hands. Let's attach his feet onto these two studs here. And what's going to happen here is basically we're going to move this thing back in just enough to allow his hand to grab onto it. And bam, that's how he looks. And yeah, here's how he looks riding onto it. Which I will admit doesn't look all that incredible. He's basically just standing on his bike. I wonder if there's like a better, more fascinating way to sit him down, I guess. Like, what if I remove these, so like place all this back on. So place all this back on to remove those pieces to allow this man to sit down. That looks way better. Oh my goodness. That looks way less goofy. So yeah, so basically you could just remove these two pieces and basically have him look more threatening, more like he's actually riding it and less like he's just doing a stunt show. But yeah. Yeah. So with that back in, we can, I guess, have him stand on the bike again, like the set intended. At least it's like an easier way for kids to seat the minifigure on, since seating minifigures down can be a little bit more tricky than you would initially think. But with that, let's now try to think about where to put these. Like, I wonder if Lego had intended an idea of where to place these. Like, is there like an anti-stud connection somewhere? Like, we have a few here, but attaching those there are just not gonna work. Let's say I don't know. I will admit. Is there really no way to like store these? Are you really just supposed to like just have these in his hands and just not hold on to the bike at all? Is that what you're supposed to do? I don't know. That's honestly a little bit more unfortunate. That's honestly the only disappointment in this set. And it's not even that big of a deal. It's more of a nitpick, really. I will say, like, that is a little bit of a gripe with this set. Like, I do wish there was a place to store these pieces. Like, even just like a hollow stud connect, like, piece. Like, even just like this piece in black with like a hollow stud connection, like either here or here, I guess, where you'd be able to just attach, where you just be able to like attach this onto there. Oh, it would actually look nicer there, I would think. I don't know. I just wish there was some way to be able to store his flame accessories onto his bike so that he doesn't have to hold on to them, or that, because like if there's like no real place to like place the accessories when the minifigure is not using them, then I feel like that's like more likely for them to get lost, right? So that's like a little gripe I have about the set, but overall, I like the set. I think the set was really cool. You got like a very standard looking Spider-Man with some decent accessories. You also have a very nice, as close to Studio Trigger as Lego is probably gonna ever get. As close to like a Lego Inferno Cop at least. like some sunglasses, like a officer's cap, maybe some other accessories here and there. I feel like that would make like a really cool Inferno cop. And then the bike's just awesome. I like the bike a lot. Bike's absolutely the bike is absolutely fascinating to me. I like it. Oh, and it also has there's also some flex in there so, to give it a tiny bit of suspension. I will say, with this like sort of animal skull here up the front and like the flames and stuff, this bike actually reminds me of like a bike I used to see a lot in the game Wizard 101. If you know what like bike I'm talking about, you can comment it down below. But yeah, like between the flames and like the animal skull print on the front, definitely gives me those vibes with this vehicle, but also some obvious Studio Trigger vibes with the Ghost Rider. So overall, I really like the set. For $10, you're not getting the best. You're not getting a great price to part ratio, but you are getting a decent amount in here. You do get a couple of minifigures with some decent with at least some accessories, or some like accessory stuff, and you also have a really nice bike with a couple of fascinating little things to it. Like building wise, it was decent. The building was decent enough to keep it simple but fascinating, and that's and overall, I think this was worth my money. I feel like this is a really nice, cool set. And with that, I think that'll be it for this unboxing and review. If you enjoyed this video, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.